this real quick. Alright, I thought I'd never get in. Yeah, when I trying to come in, I was trying to get into this lobby, but it was like so full. But, yeah, let's get some racing in. So, 90 minutes at Interlagos, right? Alright, we can do this. So, I think it was last week they had it, but, you know, we're going to do our version of 6 hours of Sao Paulo. Although it's not going to be 6 hours, it's only going to be 90 minutes. So, this is going to be our first night of doing this combination. We're going to do it in Gran Turismo tonight, and then tomorrow we'll do it over in Le Mans Ultimate. So we're gonna have like a double feature of this combination. Gonna ignore that guy going the wrong way. Let's get a proper lap in. Get it nice and hooked up for the duckbill. Say hi to the person driving the wrong way on the right. Kind of messed up Orgulio there, but get a good exit. But yeah, people driving the wrong way during free practice, just MPM things. I know I'm capable of like high 123s, so let's see if we can maybe conjure that up. Alright, we might have GT traffic up ahead, or maybe not. No, they're hypers. Track limits. Whatever. I'll grin and bear it. Let's go again. Excuse me, Diego. A little bit of visual hiccup there, I don't know why. aggressive with it. GT traffic. Ah, you could have held on. Don't have to go off the track for my benefit. Alright, Jinsao could have been better. Let's see if that still constitutes an improvement, though. Oh yeah, big improvement. About like half a second off the pace of the current lead. That's quite encouraging. Duck build could have been better. Can I get this GT here? Torque drive. Thank you for moving aside. Ooh, 122.8. I'm starting to find some pace here. I like it. Now, some of the other top flyers are coming out to play. 122.5 is not the best, but hanging in there with P2. Not bad. I think what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna go into the pits and do medium runs. Hey Yanni, what's this? This is an exclusive league. It's not an. I wouldn't say exclusive league. So, yeah, there's a Discord community called Spinner. There's a Discord community called MPM Racing that I'm a part of. I found them looking on SimGrid. Really good site if you want to look for private leagues. You know, I just wanted to get some variety into my rotation. And yeah, they decided to do they do these races every Wednesday and Friday night, based on certain events that are going on in the world. So we just recently had the World Endurance event, the 6 hours of Sao Paulo. So we're doing our own version, albeit heavily truncated. This is going to be a 90-minute race. So, so here in MPM's version of WEC, we're just doing, I'm in the hypercar class. So this is one of the few series where I'm in the quicker class. I'm typically in the slower class. All right, thank you. Also, I know all these guys. I've raced against them many times, so I know I can have clean racing here, which is why I love racing with them. We're just about to start sort of an ELMS series pretty soon on Wednesdays. Is it tire and fuel? Yes. So yeah, you do have to refuel. You do have to do a tire change. So I've been doing most of my practice on soft, so I think it's only fair that I start doing some practice on the slower compounds. Now the plan is to do this race on multiple nights. So I'm going to be doing this combination in GT7. Tomorrow, I plan on doing the same event over in Le Mans Ultimate, because this is actually a daily race. You know, the WEC Experience series. You know, I barely do that, but I thought, you know what, let's do the same race but in different games on consecutive nights. That'd be a fun thing to do. Now, don't let the dark clouds fool you. There is no chance of rain tonight. Sadly, we won't have any wet Sao Paulo specials. You know, this is a weird thing with Gran Turismo. Only the European and the Asian tracks have wet weather enabled. So, Interlagos, Daytona, Watkins. Yeah, there's no chance for wet rain. There's no chance for wet rain. Oh, I've mentioned this before. About the wet weather thing. Yeah, it's not, because I remember a while ago, it wasn't you, it was like somebody else in the chat. Yeah, it was somebody else in the chat. I was doing a daily race here, and they were just like, yo, is this ever gonna rain? I'm like, no, not this game. That is something that I really hope that they change. Oh shoot, that's something that I hope that they change up for GTA. I'd love for it to yeah, honestly, I think whatever. Come on, that's kind of harsh. They're giving me the Kimi Antonelli treatment. They're giving me track limit penalties for things that aren't benefiting me. Yeah, at this point, anything that they're doing now, anything that they add to this game, it's just gonna be like on-disc stuff for GTA. And I use the term on-disc loosely. Right? Because whatever they're adding here is going to be like base game stuff for the next Gran Turismo. So it's mostly going to be cars and cars only. I'm not expecting any more tracks being added. That kind of was the pattern with Gran Turismo Sport. In the lead up to 7. We never really got any more tracks or anything like that. I'm just all out of sorts. I need to refuel. So let me go back in here. Yeah. I mean, there's so much of Gran Turismo Sport that was carried on into 7. So, oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, like the attention to detail for the cars and the tracks have been very, very great. But, yeah, the stuff around it could definitely use some work. Like multiplayer racing, even though they've made so many strides with sport, you know, in terms of making competitive racing more accessible, like enforcing all this stuff has been questionable, right? Like the top of my list for GT8 is just an overhaul of the penalty system and, you know, enforcement. Yeah, because with single player, it's just become a game of speed run to the multiplayer and league stuff, you know? And that is actually something. It's actually something that I'm thinking about doing as like a long form playthrough at some point. I kind of want to do a Gran Turismo 4 playthrough, but the thing is, it's a little bit. Oi, 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 oi. Behave, guys. It's only practice. But one thing I've been wanting to do is I want to do a playthrough of Gran Turismo 4's Spec 2 update. Everybody's just fooling around at this point. Yeah, exactly. That's why I decided to seek out private leagues like this. You know, get a taste of some stuff that you just don't get at the daily races and the and World Series races. We don't have multiplayer. Multi-class racing in a normal form. This is just our haphazard way of trying to do it. Like you're gonna see when we do qualifying, it's just gonna be 10 minutes of me in the pits doing nothing. Yeah. Like the framework is there if you have the right people around it, but which is funny because when you look at the patch notes for every update that we get, you know, you only get maybe 5 or 6 new single-player events, you know, your typical 3 to 5 cars, but you always get photo updates. You always get photo mode updates, no matter what. Without fail. Bacon, you are driving the wrong way. I get it. It's cheap. It's. I don't want to call it cheap content. It's like low impact content, but you know, the fact that we only get new tracks whenever GT7 does a spec update, and I do have some people that work that like have contacts with Polyphony. I know people that have those. We have there's a lot of tracks that are in the pipeline that could have just been thrown out when they're ready, you know? Places like Motegi could have been thrown in. I think 1 or 2 remakes of classic GT tracks could have been thrown in. Like, I remember there was a major data mine. There was a major data mine about like cars and tracks that can be added, but they just aren't. See, now we're in a bit of a weird conundrum with Polyphony now, because you could somehow give the argument, yeah, right. You could also have some sort of an argument that PS4 development kind of held this game back, you know? But now that we're doing, obviously the next, yeah, the game works. Or do you kind of, or are you of the opinion that this is kind of just a PS4 game, just well optimized? Oh yeah. Sir, you can't park there. Anyway. I mean, yeah. No, guys, come on. But I'm also thinking about, yeah, because you also got to think about some of the stuff that's in this version that's PS5 specific, right? Like, for example, we have like the expansion pack, the single player stuff, right? The single player add-on where you get like a bunch of missions. It's the closest thing that we're gonna get to a B spec. Which is kind of the same, but it's PS5 only, right? Yeah. I think because it's the integration of GT Sophie, right? You know, the Sony AI, all the functionality that Sophie adds to this game is only PS5 specific, you know? Because even though Sophie doesn't really affect the AI in the Power Pack, it functions on the framework of Sophie 2.0. It's not. Sophie's not available in any capacity on PS4. So if you want to do those Sophie AI races, you have to be on PS5. So that was actually one of the reasons why when I got my PS5, I wanted to upgrade. So there is kind of like a, so for like the last 3 years, not only, so it'd be a case of, okay, what new cars are being added, what new events are added, what new photo mode locations are added, but also which track now gets Sophie functionality. You know? Like every patch just adds like another track where you can do a Sophie race. And the Power Pack was kind of teasing us for the idea of a possible, you know, B-spec sort of thing. Even though it's not really the case. Alright. Wait a minute. We're only 30 minutes in. Are we about to run an ad break? One sec. Let me finish this lap and let me see something here. Yeah. There's a lot that needs to be done. There's a lot that needs to be done with GT7. Oh, sorry, with GT8. That needs to be addressed with this game. Right? Even when I do daily races, right? Depending on the track that I do, I might not even start on the main straight. Oh yeah. One of my big bugbears with, oh yeah, with the camera, cause see, you know how I like to do bumper cam, or no, hood cam. That's my camera of choice. I don't have a rear view mirror. I have to do front bumper cam to get a mirror. Which kind of sucks, you know? Oh shoot, what was I doing? Hold on, I'm gonna back out of this once I get control. Hold on 1 second. I want to mess with ad settings here. Did Twitch move some stuff? I don't want you to. I'm gonna do it manually. There you go. Yeah, 3 minutes every 6 minutes. Please save that, because I don't want ads being played this time around. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You're gonna have to temper your expectations. There's a lot that I want to see in the next entry, but we're probably gonna have to expect like half of that stuff, realistically speaking, right? Some of the basic things like a relative counter, you know. So I know it's very bulky when part of the UI, especially when you see me play stuff like Le Mans Ultimate, for example. Seeing just what everybody's relative time is, that's a very basic feature that's pretty much in every sim racing game nowadays. I'd love to see it added as an option for GT7, for GT8. Yeah, there's a special formula that GT has that's unique, you know. Because yeah, the base game, like some sort of progression really needs to go about, you know. Because there are some people that'll just speed run the single player as much as they possible just to get to the multiplayer, right? Yeah, especially on the PlayStation side. Which is funny because, I mean, Assetto Corsa is decent, but its main audience is PC. And it's also kind of a shame that, it's also a big shame that Rennsport and PMR, Project Motor Racing, those games flopped, you know? So, I don't think we're gonna get any real sim racing competition for Gran Turismo, possibly until the console versions of Le Mans Ultimate. But that's not gonna come out for like another year and a half. So, and even then, like, Le Mans Ultimate is very bare bones. You know, we're still working on the single player for that game. Don't get me wrong, the multiplayer is in a very good place, but it's that single player offering that will really make the difference. Yeah, it's not like there's like I get that the game, they don't want the game to feel grindy, but that kind of was the charm of it, you know? Just find the right car, you know, start with road cars, work your way up. It's gonna take a long time. You know, you're gonna have to repeat events over and over and over again. You know, but once you do, and it feels satisfying, you know? That's why I really want to do a GT4 playthrough. But the way I want to do it is, there was a modded version of it, right? That actually overhauled everything with GT4. You know, made it a little bit more up to date, so to speak. Also included some stuff that was cut from other versions, made it like one big complete version of GT4. Plus, they have some stuff from Tourist Trophy. You know, the campaign should have been more the level of the mission packs. Right. Ooh, I remember. See, I have not touched those missions in probably a year and a half. I literally forgot about the missions that are already on the base game. Yeah, like super open-ended races. And yeah, we don't get that. We don't really get that nowadays. Right. And that's what the Power Pack is trying to, like, reintroduce. You know, we do have a quali session. And you can also, and if you want, you can also, like, fast forward it. So it's teasing you with that B-spec stuff. So, yeah, it's like everything's half-baked here. They have great ideas, but they just need to, like, really hone in on them. Give me 1 second. Okay. At this point, though, I'm just waiting on these guys to actually start quali. Hold on, let me just check the MPM Discord, see if there's anybody like stuck. Because this is one of the problems that I have. Some of the people that are in this lobby aren't actually registered to be taking part in this. They're just like wildcard people that just wanted to join in. I think some people might be stuck out. Okay, never mind. I think we're good. All right, Group 3 is gonna go first for the first 10 minutes, and then after that, the Group 1s will leave. All right, so qualifying is about to start. Now, like Max says in the match chat, we will be idle for the first 10 minutes. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna run an ad break. All right, so that way throughout the race itself, we're not gonna have any problems. Okay, so we'll do an ad break now. So yeah, we're gonna be parked up anyway. We're not gonna be doing anything. So I'd rather do it now when there's nothing going on. All right, so back in 3. So qualifying has started for the GT3s. So actually, am I able to back out? All right, cool. So let me see here. How many GTs do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have an even number. So 8 GTs, 8 hypers. So not bad, not bad. All right. So we're just seeing what's going on here. We might as well just spectate who's doing what. I think Officer's the current pole sitter, so we'll go on board with them for a bit. Ooh. Very twitchy on the exit out of Jun South. That's probably to change tires. Go again. Let me see what Bacon Dance is going up with. About 131.4. That's looks like second in class at the moment. But yeah, the Porsche 911 has been dominating this meta. And that's another thing that I've not liked too much about GT7. Is that the... I'm going to adjust the heat settings. Hold on. The thing I kind of wish GT7 had more of was the balancing was a little bit better, you know? There have been many stages throughout GT7's lifestyle cycle where certain time periods we would just have one or two cars that would dominate certain classes. Like, I remember when everybody used the Alfa Romeo in Group 4, everybody used the Subaru BRZ. You know, there was a time when those cars just dominated every class. You know. How much time do we have until? We got about 3 minutes left. Okay. So let's just continue putting spectators on. Got a Lexus here. Boy, how much longer are we gonna see this thing? You know, we know for a fact that Toyota has the GR GT. We've already got a road version of it available in Forza Horizon. It's only a matter of time before they get a GT3 version of that going. Curious to see how that goes. Let me see what other options we got. We got Porsche, another Porsche. Algi's using the Iron Dames livery. I think this is the Le Mans Special. Pothole going with the M6. Expat using the Lexus, of course. And we're all waiting in the wings, in the hypers. But yeah, we need a refresh on some of these classes too. some of them is up to the manufacturers, of course. Like, for example, this AMG, this GT3, this thing has been around since, what, 2016? This particular version is like the Evo version from 2020, but we're in need of an update. I think Mercedes is working on a Black Series version of the AMG that's going to be coming out soon. So Toyota obviously needs the GR GT to replace the Lexus. We don't have the Temerario in Le Mans. In this game. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think any game has the Temerario for Lamborghini. Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. I don't think. Alright, just gotta get ready because we are in the 30-second warning. So it's time to get ourselves ready for our run. I'm gonna put the brake balance on the rear. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is when it's our turn to go out, I'm gonna give everybody else some space to move on ahead. Oh, Enzo, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Alright, so 10 minutes have elapsed. We are now cleared to go out onto the track. But I'm gonna wait a little bit, give people the opportunity to go out first. I want to have some clean air both in front of me and behind me. So let me wait a few more seconds before I start going down. Alright, now's a good time. Now, skill-wise, most of these guys are like high A plus level drivers. So in terms of expected pace, I'm probably going to be more toward the back. So don't be surprised if I end up maybe like a P6, P7 in class, and we'll go from there. Deep on the brakes. But yeah, there's a couple things that I would like to hopefully get thrown in here. Since we're coming out of the pits, and there's tire wear involved in this session, tire temps are a thing, so I'd love for them for a sequel for GT8 to give us some sort of temperature gauge so we know what we're dealing with. Oh, that's a mistake. I have a lot of time to make up, so This is just the banker lap, the speculative one. 124.2. I know I'm capable of better. Let's see how much of an improvement that one was. Could have been more. We're a second better, but still think we're kind of behind. .123.2 on P7 in class. So I'm basically second worst. But honestly, that is to be expected, because unlike the Hypercar Challenge, which I've been doing before, recently, there's no rating split. So we're up against top split drivers right now, and it makes sense that I'm lagging behind. I don't know if that was track limits. We'll see. That's not going to be an improvement, I know that much. Also, this game is generous with track limits, so might as well take advantage of that. That's not gonna help me at all. I feel like I'm turning too early. It's gotta be track limits, I know that for sure. Yeah, that this time is gonna be deleted. Well, that's not ideal. Don't think I'm going to be able to improve in this case. P8. to the left. Somebody's on a hot lap. I'm gonna let them go. Last opportunity. Albeit it is kind of already messed up due to my penalty. Alright, let's see what we can get here. So much in this section. Alright, so we're just gonna get to the line. Okay. So we're gonna have to, unfortunately, we're gonna have to be stuck in this this screen for a bit, because technically we still have to wait for the GTs to go to the line. So instead, they're all just waiting in the pit lane. So we have to wait till the timer goes down to 0. Sorry guys, 2 minutes of doing nothing. But let's see what we got. Good news. I have a baby boss now. So, for context, at my work, our CEO is on paternity leave because, you know, the baby was on the way. Just got news. The baby's here. So, that's some good news. Good news to share. Alright. There we go. Alright. Oh yeah. Yeah, Kaz wanted to do his own thing. That's why we get so many Nissan GTRs in this game, right? Because out of all the cars, the car with the biggest family is the Nissan GTR or the Skylines. Waiting for a few minutes more. Just a few seconds more. Alright, so when it comes to this race, the economy, legend cars, brand vision, GT. Yeah. Like legend cars, the pricing for some of them is just absolutely crazy, you know. 20 million credit cars. Ugh. Right. And depending on the events you want to do too, right? Before they patched in the opportunity to rent cars for multiplayer races, if you didn't have the car, you couldn't race it, you know? So like during downtimes in between, you would have people just like money making. Okay, I gotta grind to get credits, you know? We would find, okay, which tracks would have the best opportunity to get stuff. Okay, so we got a 90-minute race ahead of us. We do have a 5-minute break, so debating whether or not to run an ad break, but nah, I've already ran one, so it'll be okay. Credit grind isn't much of an issue. It's, yeah, because with the legend cars, it's supposedly reflective of the world, the real world value. You know, that's been their logic behind it. That's why some of the legend cards are like crazy. Yeah. Oh, what's this? Ah. I am going to do some tinkering. Thank you, Snipes. He actually just sent me his tune. He's actually gonna make me a little bit, I'm gonna play with this. Sorry, I'm gonna be like really focused on this building this tune at the moment. So 45, 48. Okay. This will stay. In at 0.05. I'm gonna put this neutral. Alright, for diff, 510, 816. Braking sense, 10 and 18. Okay, now what do I got here? 800, 909. That's all he sent me. Just gonna send him a thumbs up. Well, that's actually very useful. Some helpful. There we go. Bumped up some of our specs a bit. How nice. Some help from the other Toyota runners. Gosh. Do you ever get that weird feeling when like something goes into your eye? Like, ugh, that's what I got right now. Hold on a minute. Ugh. Okay. Also, I'm pretty sure some of our competitors are streaming as well. So let me also send them some stuff into the algorithm. yet on YouTube. I'm pretty sure Aji is streaming. Oh, it's not. Oh no, he is. He's live.
We be like.
Oh, sorry, Mom. That was loud. Alright. Send him a like on his stream. He's he's P2 in the GT class. So we'll help him out. Okay. So we're just hanging out for a bit until the 5-minute break goes out. Let's put an R in the chat. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be running mediums for this first stint. I just want to see how this stint goes on the mediums, and then as the race goes on, we'll adjust accordingly. Alright? Also, don't forget to hydrate, guys. Thanks to the pals at Dubby for providing me with some hydration. Of course, you want to give Dubby a shot. Use my code. Get 10% off anything you buy. Small bit comes back to help me too, so a little bit helps, you know. They do got some anime inspired flavors, you know. They do have a partnership with Crunchyroll, so they got a free run flavor, they got a Chainsaw Man flavor, a solo leveling flavor. I did try this Chainsaw Man one, the blood orange, really good. So yeah, give them a shot. Okay. 90 minutes. Group 3 cars, hold your line. Group 1s must ensure a safe pass. Yep. So, unlike LMU, where we typically go on the weaker cars, we're going to be on the stronger cars. Alright, let's see how this goes. I just need to double check what are my signals. Okay. Come on, Max. Let's get this race going. I'm just waiting for them to get us started. Come on now. Okay, so the goal, we are P8, we are the last on the class, but the goal is to try to maybe pick up a place or two. Just have a clean race and just build it from there. So my goal is probably around P6. Okay, but here we go. Alright, rolling start. Keep the brake balance as is. Off we go. Damn, they put me well behind everybody. Cold tires, so we gotta be careful. Alright, nice Nice and easy now, everyone. Oh. There was some contact, but thankfully... Oh, come on! I was being careful. I just slammed the brakes to make sure I didn't hit him, but that was just concertina effect. Okay. Okay, game. I don't think he has damage. Hopefully, because I don't have damage. I'm gonna have to serve this 2 seconds. That sucks. Alright, well, we'll just do what we can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drive this car until the fuel goes. So that's gonna be my only metric for when to go in or not, is when I start running out of fuel. So my gap is less than 5 seconds, 4.5 to max. Now, obviously, I am not driving with the fastest tires out, so I want to try to get into the 124s a little bit more regularly. See what I can do about that. Because with these, because in this community, I'm more so interested in the experience, you know, racing against top split drivers, seeing how I measure up against them. So. Some changes in position up ahead. Now my gap is 3.3, 124s. That's kind of my target time. It's not bad, but I think I can get a little bit better. How much fuel do I have? 19 laps worth? Not bad. I don't necessarily have to worry too much about traffic because I'm the one chasing them. All right, starting to reel these guys. So, Snipes, you're tune is starting to work its magic. Starting to feel a lot more confident with this car too. Two and a half. Come on, keep fighting, guys. I also would not mind a crash or two. Because the more these guys fight for position, the closer I'm able to get. Whittling away, I'm now 1.9. Come on. Small hiccup, but I know where I can gain more of my time. Getting closer, getting closer. Alright, let me see if first gear on duckbill works. But you're gonna have to shift early. Slight lift from Rubulio, just to reduce the tire strain. Maybe I'm being a little too lackadaisical there. As good as it is to, you know, go all out, trying to catch up. Gotta look after these tires. Going deep is not gonna help me either. Small stumble, I'm back down to 2.7. Ooh, was that track limits? Hopefully not. I realize how they're pulling away. They got slipstream. They're working together, but I'm being left behind. Alright, interesting dynamic about to happen. What are the lap times looking? I'm about a second off pace. About the current best time. Which is good because I was like about 2 seconds off. The tune that Snipes was able to give me has gotten me a lot more pace. I'm a lot more competitive now, even though I'm still P8. So 123.2 is not bad, but bear in mind I am on the medium compound, so if I do decide to go into softs later on, I will probably hit 122s. Maybe 121s. But right now, let's just take our prime stints, take the mediums going for now. Starting to get some pace back on those guys. .1. All I need is for me to get back into the pack. Oh shoot, we're about to come up on traffic. Uh-oh. This is where it's gonna get a little hairy. Oh shoot, that might be track limits. Was that me actually getting an advantage? I don't think so, game. Alright, I should be able to get pothole before Desito del Lago. There we go. Oh, I've caught up with Max as a result, but now I'm gonna have to serve this penalty. It's also going to be a way that I could catch up to this group. It's traffic management, you know? When I make the passes and how I make the passes on the GTs are going to be important too. Gone off. Alright. Well, we both had penalties to serve, but I was coming in hotter, so better. Alright. Oh, come on again. Alright, whatever. No biggie. Long race. Long race. should be good. There's no GT traffic behind, so I'm not stepping on anyone's toes. All right. Let's see what I can do to make up that time that I lost. 4 seconds to the car ahead. Looks like we got another GT to overtake. Got 2 more cars to go through. Bacon Dance is one of them. I think Augie might be another. Alright, so we're coming up on the top of the class. Declare right side. There we go, got past them very painlessly. Thank you, my friends. Went a little bit deep through the Senna S there. How good are we fuel-wise? We got about 9 more laps. Alright, I think we're coming up on class leader. Alright, I'll try to overtake you through Magulio, that's fine. Wanted to make sure that he got room. Alright, cool. That is all the GT traffic done and dusted with. Now I can focus on class traffic ahead. Kind of boggled it up a bit. 4.6. I gotta be careful now. The tires are starting to feel a little off. And this is also why I put the brake balance to the rear. You know, mitigate the damage that the fronts are taking. But it's the front right that I'm going to be most concerned about due to the nature of the track itself, you know? Being an anti-clockwise track. Not sure if I can pull out 20 laps on these tires, but we can definitely give it a shot. A lot of pace on the first sector. Could have been better here, but we'll watch the wobbles. A bit of connectivity issues here. I don't think I'm going to be lapped by any front runners. Polyphony teasing us with this cloudy weather. I know for a fact we're not getting rain, so... Looks like he had some sort of penalty. Caught up 3.8. Also, lighting has gotten a lot wonkier, so gotta be mindful of my braking points for turn 1. 5.9. So end of lap 21 is what we're looking at for possible first stop. Just gotta keep going with these laps and come what may. Holding things steady, 3.7. See some side-by-side action going. Oh, we have another back marker. I think we have a couple, actually. Gonna have to try to get past them. A little bit sketchier than I would have liked. Having to try to overtake in that section, but we got it done. Brakes are really going long now. Four laps. Yeah, end of lap 21 is what I'm looking at. So we're looking at 3 more to go. Another person to overtake. Nice and painless. That's what I love about racing against these guys. Racing against MPM means I'm gonna have a competent race. Best way I could describe it. Oh, that's a mistake. And that's a freebie. Optify has spun off, and I saw that he has a penalty too, so that's gonna be able to wedge the gap even further. Take advantage of that. Oh, but the tires, they're really starting to go. Now, next lap I'm supposed to be going in. It's going to be an interesting thing I got to deal with. I wonder if it's worth it to maybe stick out to maybe lap 22. Optify's also decided to go into the pits here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover him off. I'm going to box this lap. I'm going in. All right. Whew. Okay. Let's stretch. Take a break. All right. Our mandatory stop. Well, it's not a mandatory stop, but let's take our first necessary one. I'm just gonna let you guys do your thing. See, in a realistic sense, I'm pretty sure they would be doing the refueling while the tires are being changed. You know? Right. It's a long stop, but hey, such is the nature of racing in this discipline. Okay. Ooh, I got a GT right in front of me. That's not gonna be a pain. Did I just overtake him? Just run through him? Alright, so I'm technically a lap down. Trying to cut to the inside. So let's see how this plays out for me, strategy-wise. I'm kind of overdriving the car right now, so just need to settle down a bit. So Chalky is my immediate competition. 40 seconds. Oh ho, hey! Hey Jack, thank you for the lurk, thank you for the check-in. Long time no see, nice to see you around. Oh boy. Yep. Don't worry, haven't heard one of those in a while. Is there contact there? Alright, what's going on? I'm doing alright. Doing some multi-class racing. Here at Interlagos. This is just our version, our abbreviated version of the 6 hours of Sao Paulo. It's not 6 hours, it's more like 90 minutes. But yes, that is the that's the theory. Alright, this is gonna get a little wonky because now... Oi! Come on, man. Bro. That's just being impatient. Thanks for the sympathy bit, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna have to go into the pits and get this fixed. Might as well just top off. Man. Well, I did not need to make this stop, but I have to because we have heavy damage here. There's no regenerating damage. So any hits I take, I have to go into the pits and get it fixed. Yeah, because I have like heavily compromised aero damage. So I'm like very out of sync. The plan for me was to do only 2 stops, you know, at 30-minute intervals. I think he rage quit too. I only see 15 on the grid now. So we gotta try to overtake pothole here. Now, I knew the GT cars were gonna, you know, accommodate me as much as possible because I race these guys regularly. So like the one that took me out, that was one of the randos that just came in randomly for this race. So shoot. New tires, they're cold. I have to brake earlier for these. All right, now. Still got 50 minutes to go, so we have at least 1 full stint remaining. But the problem is, I'm out of sync. So, actually, no, this could work. This could work out for me. Depending on how the situation around me goes. I could be a bit more aggressive for the final stint. I mean, I'm gonna have to stay on the mediums, but at least I could, you know, I can go at the others more. Gotta move on Aji. Very simple. Not onto the entry of the Ciudad del Lado, but I can get Hondo on the exit. Gonna do some laps on your own? Okay, awesome, awesome. Best of luck to you. Nice seeing you. Alright, I gotta focus now. Try to see what I can do to make up this gap. Max is now our next target, but he's a minute away. Well, I might get done with for track limits there. Yeah, I don't mind. It makes sense. Half a second. all I gotta really focus right now is just dealing with the traffic as they come. Alright, thank you, Torque. I like that. I like how they're signaling. He's telling me which way he's going. So that makes my job super easy. So I know exactly which line to take. Also, I know it's getting a little bit late, but I do want to thank everybody who's shown up so far. We're averaging 11 viewers, so much appreciated. Leave a follow if you'd like, so you can get more of this racing, you know? I pride myself on clean motorsports, so if you need some, you know, late night racing, or maybe some primetime racing if you're on the West Coast, you know, get your fix here. And it's not just on the Twitch side, but also on the YouTube side. You know, trying to grow the community over there too. So take your pick however you'd like to follow me. One or the other, but preferably both. But honestly, I need to start, what I really want to do is I need to start doing some long form uploads. I've just been putting up my streams and whatnot, but I need to put some actual videos on. I'll be patient with Diego here. Be too optimistic to go for a lunge into Junsao, but whoa, that could have been bad. Was that really track limits? Did I really gain an advantage from that? Okay, this one I might get an advantage. Okay, I was okay that time. So we're in a bit of clean air here. We're not dealing with anybody up front, nobody so far behind. So we just gotta manage this the best way we can. 45. Oh, the person. All right, the person coming up to me is a leading car, so I will have to move aside. Now, ideally, the best time to do that is when I'm serving my penalty. So, Rafaka is the guy I had to move aside for. I'll let him do so. I'll get back to racing myself. Now we have to deal with a Porsche up ahead. Nice and simple. Okay, 43 minutes to go. Actually, more importantly, how much fuel do I have? $15 laps. Wow, okay. Oh, it's dark now. So bear in mind, we still have one more stop that we're gonna need to make. With any luck, depending on how things go, we'll have enough time to make it a soft stint. I'd love to see if we can make that happen. So we gotta stretch out this one as best we can. Because 14... Shoot. Back off a little bit. Let's see, wait. Every 2 laps is 3 minutes. So 3 times 7, 21 minutes. So by the time I need to take my next pit stop, there will probably be around like 20 minutes left to go. Oh shoot, this is kind of messing up with my reference points. I gotta be really careful now. Yeah, the shadows are not doing me any favors. And mind you, this is not a track that is known to be driven at night. You can see there's no floodlights here. This is very much a track for the daytime, not something like Yas Marina or Daytona or Nürburgring or Spa. Like, there's no overnight races here, so. Going to be an interesting dynamic how we deal with this. Kind of messing up my points at this stage. I don't have anybody. Oh boy. I don't have anybody behind me. I've got a lot of clean air behind, so. The next people, the guys ahead of me, those are back markers. So, well, they're not back markers. Those are the GTs. I have to try to get past them. I don't know why Rafaka was parked up over there. Now, that was not an overtake for position. He's still 1 lap ahead of me. So I will have to move aside and let him through. I think with how these pit strategies are going right now and how everybody's playing it, I don't think we're gonna be seeing much movement in the pecking order until probably the last 15-20 minutes, when everybody does their final stops, you know? I think that's when it's really gonna start to kick off. This is the awkward thing. I have a pace advantage, but oh man, what happened there? What's happening? I have to take the escape road. See, the problem is, for Decido del Lago, this left-hander that I just took, there's a escape road on the right that I use as my braking point. I can't see that anymore now that we're in the dark. So I'm using the 100 board as my reference, but that's considered too early for this type of car. So it's a little bit awkward. It's also why I've been a little bit awkward with turn 1 as well. I think that's a GT ahead of me. There it is, it's torque. Alright, it's gonna let us through. Beautiful. That's harsh. Didn't really gain anything from that. Raji, excuse me. Okay. Let's see, we have Chalky going into the pits. But again, I am a lap down, so that doesn't really affect me too much.
because Chalky here, he is my direct competition, but I'm a lap down. So, even if I overtake him, I still got to go around the track again and try to come up to him. Hondo is staying to the right. Thank you for letting me know that. I will gladly take off. Alright, 8 laps. So let's see here. That's 20 minutes left. Probably by the time we make it to. I'm going wide, I'm going long. Alright, and I got a leading car coming up. It's not gonna be a problem. Not one bit. It's proper nighttime now here in Sao Paulo. Please at least get Bacon Dance before I need to give up this position. Oh boy. These track limit penalties are killing. You can probably get me after Descida do Lago. Alright, Snipes, you go on. Alright, leaders are starting to take their mandatory stops. Or not their mandatory stops. If they're on the mediums, this is like their window. Mine is going to be a little bit longer. Longer ahead. Still got a little bit of time before I need to go in. I'm thinking I'm going to be around like 20 minutes left. Traffic out of the way. 28 minutes to go. .6. I'll keep going. That's fine, whatever. These tires are starting to really go at this stage, but I just gotta hang on for a couple laps more. Pass bacon dance, no problem. Probably best time I've taken Curva del Sol in a while. And the Senna S's. I'm trying to fuel save a little bit. See if I can maybe sneak out some more fuel and tire life out of these. So that way there's less time remaining when I eventually make it to the pits. Because my mindset is, if I can extend this stint long enough to where I could possibly do the final stint on softs. Tough ask for me to do that, but you know, why not give it a go? Maybe steal the fastest lap. I got 3 laps left. Might be a tall order to do softs though. Now I'm probably just gonna go mediums. Final stint. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's worth the gamble. Let me make my move now. Alright, can I get Diego? Go. Gap 2.8. state of my mediums right now. 2 laps more. End of lap 48. That's the target now. I don't need outright pace. I just need to nurse these. I'm going to be short shifting a little bit just to preserve some fuel a little bit more. Paying attention. Alright, I'm boxing next lap. See, the gamble for softs is very, very enticing right now. We're gonna have less than 18 minutes. Oh, sorry, less than 20 minutes. Probably like, yeah, probably 18 minutes left by the time we get out of the pits too. So that's expecting what, like 12 laps? Yeah, see, Snipes is going soft. I'm probably gonna do the same. Let's see if it works. Oh, we're running the same setup too, so this might work out. Let's go with the old college try. So let's see here. 6, 18. I'm gonna err on the side of caution. When we get to 15 laps on the gauge, I'm gonna go. Okay, 16 laps. Better to be over safe than sorry. Yeah, to see, we only have 18 minutes left to go. Let's see if I can do something about that. Also, since we have a slightly empty fuel tank, the tire wear won't be as as harsh. Beautiful, got that move nice and easy. Now we're gonna be flying. Set a personal best here. One, two, three, one. Got traffic coming up, so got past Bacon Dance. I'm gonna stay on my line to get past Expat. Alright, Torque is next up. Gonna get him on the exit of Curva del Sol. Right, signaling that he's gonna stay right. Totally nice and dandy. Starting to get a little bit brighter. Good for my visibility. Did I take a little bit too much in this part? Stewart's saying no, so I'm okay. Had to hit the anchors for Diego, but otherwise we're okay. 123.6. Okay, so if I were to reckon based on the amount of time left, I'd say maybe about 10 more laps. I think that's what we're looking at, about 9 or 10 more laps to go. Uh-oh. Let's pay attention! Ugh. Just gonna watch the retro. Ah, man. Well, at this point, trying to get P6 would be a little bit overkill. It'd be a little bit too ambitious, so yeah, let's go into the pits and get this fixed, and then we could just ball out for the last 10 minutes. I think we've got nothing to play for at this stage, so let's just bring it home. Yeah, I don't need to refuel. Let's get this fixed and then let's go. Okay, cool, that's it. And I'm gonna be dealing with minimal traffic coming out of the pits. Yeah, I think they're gonna come out ahead of me. Lovely. But it also means I have to overtake them. Ah, sorry about that, Hondo. Alright. 8 minutes to go. So that's a long one, eh? Because what do we still have to do? We still have to do the spa round. No, we did the spa round, I think. Still need to do our Le Mans round. We need to start Lone Star Le Mans. We need to do our think we did Fuji already. What rounds do we still have to do for this? I think we still have to do our Qatar round. I think we've done Fuji already. Gonna back off, let those leaders go, and then get back to it myself. Alright, 6 minutes plus 1 lap, however it goes. We've done almost 60 laps. Actually, now that I think about it, how many laps is the Brazilian Grand Prix? Like an F1. Because I know it's like 305 kilometers. I think it's around this 70 laps? I think it's around 70 laps, the Brazilian Grand Prix. I'll have to double check that. I finally broke into the 122s. For what it's worth. Took until the final 5 minutes of the race for me to actually get some pace. Final 2 minutes. Just focus on getting past this traffic and bringing the car home. Final 30 seconds. Just focus so I don't crash the car. I don't know if this will end up, I don't know if this is our final lap. There is a yellow flag. What for? I don't know. I don't know if that was track limits. I don't know if I took too much there. Okay, this is the final lap. So we'll just bring it to the line, and that's it. Right, just as the dawn breaks. Home. Okay, P7. 3 laps down, but at least we finished, you know? And I'm not last on the grid, or last in the class. You know? We had that guy that took us out, decided to rage quit afterwards. On one more, waiting for Bacon Dance to finish, then that'll be it. Okay, that's it. Everybody has gone to the line. And there we go. P8 to P7. We'll take it. Alright, let me just save the replay. Okay. So, what is the next scheduled race? Hold on a minute. Let me just have a look at my events. So Thursday we got our next event Thursday. Yeah, the 23rd and then the 24th. No, wait, hold on a minute. 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So we got Hypercars with MPM on Wednesday night. Thursday night, we're gonna go over to LMU, join our new friends at Sim Addicts. We'll do their first round. And then lastly, we got F1. We got to do Spa. So the Belgian Grand Prix that we were supposed to do this week, we're gonna do next week. All right. But I'm just gonna give Max our thank you. Thanks for a race. Let's play again sometimes. You again. All right. So we'll call it here. It's almost 12:40. It's time for me to head to bed. All right. Let's see who's available for a raid. Let's see who's live right now. Nope, that's the wrong button. I'm gonna send you guys over to Manny. He's playing some Paper Mario co-op. Oh wow! There's a co-op mod for Paper Mario, like OG Paper Mario. I kind of want to see this. All right, we're gonna do this again in LMU tomorrow. So yeah, let's have fun with that. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow night. Take care.